After the disappointing premiere episode of Masters of Horror Incident on and Off a Mountain Road, today I'll be entering a world of non-Euclidean geometry where witches travel through parallel universes to enact sinister plots of child sacrifice. Today I'll be reviewing Stuart Gordon's adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's Dreams in the Witch House. I wouldn't say I'm a huge Stuart Gordon fan, but I have enjoyed some of his movies. Obviously, Reanimator is a certifiable classic, while something like Dagon is only okay. Even though I'm not hugely familiar with all his work, I definitely know that he fits the bill to be invited to direct an episode, and in my opinion, he delivered the goods. While the episode features nudity, grotesque bloody effects, and child murder, it wasn't as graphic or shocking as the first episode. However, because of the awesomely gruesome special effects, brutal kills, and fun style, this episode landed much better than the first one. Gordon clearly understands what horror fans want and expect and delivers the goods. The story itself, following Miskatonic University graduate student Walter Gilman, who rents a room in a dilapidated ancient house that is part of an ancient and cosmic conspiracy, was executed well enough to get me invested in these characters and the narrative, though it suffered from the time constraints of the show. I honestly wish we had gotten more, which would have allowed for it to be paced better. Instead, everything felt a bit rushed. Despite this problem, I still enjoyed the story, as Rigodon, who was also the lead in Gordon's Dagon, was good in this, displaying a real range and depth of emotion. He showed vulnerability and a caring attitude, while also having the expected lustful mind of a character in a Stuart Gordon movie. Towards the end, his decline into mania is feverishly fun and delightful to watch. The character may not make the best choices, but they're defensible enough, so I don't get too caught up in wondering why he doesn't just listen to the old man and run far away, though I do wish we could have gotten Jeffrey Combs in this, at least as a side character. Godden does a good job in the lead role. The old man, played by Campbell Lane, is an interesting parallel version of our main character. He is eccentric and kooky with an appropriate level of ominous dread overhanging him that he fit perfectly as a side character in this. Frances Elwood, played by Chella Horsdale, felt like a real single mother, and she has believable chemistry with Godden. Gordon, of course, had to deliver on his usual dose of the crassly sexual in this, but he does it in such a clever way. He does this by turning what seems to be a possible love story into a perverted trick executed by the witch, which doubles as a The Shining reference. This feels like a much more useful and on-brand pushing of the boundaries of television than the needless shock factor Coscarelli attempted with his unnecessary rape scene in the previous episode. Not all, but lots of horror fans love to see nudity, and this delivers that in a way that ties in with the narrative in a smart homage to a horror classic. This clever ability to live up to the expectations of fans, showing an understanding and appreciation of the genre, and furthering the story, is definitely worthy of praise, despite the fact that, for the most part, Gordon isn't pushing the boundaries too much with this episode. It's a tamer Lovecraft adaptation for him, and would serve as his last. While this maintains a strong balance of horror and humor, it's not as goopy and gory as some of his other work. With that being said, however, we do get some awesome kills, such as in the film's finale with the brutal eye gouging sequence alongside some truly unhinged rat kills. The recurring human rat in the episode looks awful and takes me out of the episode whenever he speaks, but his kills are brutal, especially his final one. Despite those cool kills, however, I mostly just found him to be annoying rather than funny or scary. That being said, the other effects, such as that eye gouging scene, are truly gruesome and gave me that rush of pure horror dopamine only a well done special effect can do. The final scenes in the asylum were interesting but not essential, mostly just leading to that final gruesome death, which was fitting for such a story. Lovecraft's work is notoriously difficult to adapt, but this is an admirable effort. It has the feel of a Lovecraftian story, even if it's not entirely faithful. To be honest though, I don't really care so much if you're faithful to the exact story of the source material, as long as you maintain the essence of the work, and I think Gordon does a great job at maintaining that in his adaptations. It's kind of sad that his final stab at adapting Lovecraft was to come on an anthology horror series like this, but for what it is, I think it's really well done, and I had a very fun time. So despite some serious problems, I definitely recommend this to horror fans, as there isn't much more you could ask for from a Masters of Horror episode. That's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the episode. Are you a fan of Stuart Gordon or H.P. Lovecraft? What's your favorite Lovecraft adaptation? If you watched till the end, I can't thank you enough, and if you liked the video, please remember to hit like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell for notifications every time I upload a new video. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Kill, kill, kill. Help me!